How to curb your depression with food. Now, let me get this out of the way before anybody says anything. I'm not a doctor, okay? Not a doctor. I am. This has nothing to do with anything I've read online. This is all my own personal experience, and I'll just get into it and just take it or leave it, right? So, where do I even start? Okay, I don't know, 350 pounds, pretty big, unhappy, and I didn't even know I was depressed. Okay, just realize that. Like I it became normal, and everybody has their own varying degrees of, depression and whatever. I would say mine was very noticeable because I'm usually a pretty outgoing guy. I don't really go into spells of depression. However, I was eating whatever I could eat. So at the time, I was basically working two jobs. Okay, basically working two jobs, 90 to 100-hour weeks. I ate whenever I could. Wife had just given birth. It was just like, wow. It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. It was hard to breathe. I mean, I was in my late 20s. Hard to breathe. I was having a hard time being active. It was easy to be down, hard to get excited about things. And just to give you a little background, I had really out of control diabetes at the time, and I didn't know it, right? And I got diagnosed around that time in 2018. Little did I know that eating the right foods would actually, as like a side effect, take care of how I felt mentally, right? And I say take care of as in like virtually get it, all that depression and upset and anxiety and whatever feelings to go away, to curb, to just be gone. I'll tell you exactly what I did. I'll tell you exactly what I did that worked for me, and you can take it or leave it. But if you get anything from this video, I want you to understand that the basic premise of this video is what you eat, you are what you eat. Funny enough, I know this, but what you eat dramatically affects your attitude, your mood, and everything to do with how you do things. So, I get diagnosed with diabetes, really, really bad. Diabetic coma levels. Like, if you know anything about diabetes, I had a 13.5 A1C, which is out of control. Like, the doctor was like, that's like somebody who was in a diabetic coma would have that level, A1C level, which is basically an arbitrary, measurement or number of, you have a lot of sugar in your blood, dude. So I can get into a whole long thing about that, and I'm not necessarily going to. I'm just going to tell you that it was so bad. My blood sugar levels were on average around 500. It was like, I didn't know how bad. Like, my parents had diabetes. We had the typical American diet. Didn't really eat healthy. There was little short periods. Fast forward about December 2023. I finally just get tired of being tired. I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just tired of being tired. Let me just cut something out. So I cut out sugar in my coffee, and I think I cut out carbs. And like, what I mean by carbs is just like, I didn't go crazy on it. I was just like, okay, breads, random chips, like those kind of French fries. Like, I'll eat the burger. I'll eat the bread with the burger, but I won't eat the French fries. Like, I just kind of cut things out. And I didn't put any cream in my coffee. What did I do? I think I put butter in my coffee. I know that sounds crazy, but I replaced... No. I'm jumping ahead. I put sugar. The sugar was gone. See, it's been so like, brain fog, right? I got rid of the sugar. I used cream, and I did this for 4 months. So fast forward to the end of March 2024, I start looking into this thing, and it's a carnivore diet, right? And this isn't some ad. I don't have anything to sell you, right? But I was like, well, I did the Atkins diet back when I was younger, right? And it was great. I noticed the difference. I was also a lot younger, and I really saw this guy. Shout out to Carnivore Ray on TikTok. He's the guy, right? And I was like, oh, who's this guy? And what he was talking about, and I was like, dang, this thing's pretty cool. I said, might as well. And I just went on a strict carnivore diet for about, I don't know, 6 months strict. And this is like butter in the coffee. This is like cooking with tallow, cooking with grass-fed butter. No carbs, no vegetables, steaks, chicken, shrimp, fish, like whatever. And oh my God, by day three, basically like my emotions were like amplified in a good way, like positive emotions. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it seemed like I didn't realize I had a bunch of aches going on. I got so used to these joints being all tough and stuck and achy. I stopped aching. That was the first noticeable difference around 2 days in. I was like, whoa, okay. When I woke up out of bed after about a week, I would spring out of bed, like when I was younger. I was just like, I'm awake, I'm up. Like, previously it'd be like a whole battle. And like, I don't want to get up, and then your eyes closed, lay there with your eyes closed. And then I noticed after I started eating this way and taking care of myself, I could get excited over nothing. Like I felt like a kid again. I felt like I can get excited over nothing. It just wasn't, everything wasn't all serious. I noticed I didn't react to negative emotions the same way. And I did this straight for about a year and a half, and strict to the T, about 6 months. I lost 70 pounds, and I noticed my reaction time was faster. My emotions were better. If somebody reacted, I wouldn't just like, it didn't just hit a switch and I was just upset and attacking back. It was like, I don't know, it was pretty incredible. And I say this because if you're watching this, it's like, that has something to do with your emotions. That has something to do with your depression. That has something to do with how you react to things, how you will do things. And you should take a look at that. It's very simple, but if you actually look at if you're in America, what the diet is like, if you just don't monitor and you're not mindful of yourself, it's terrible. It's terrible. Like, when I say terrible, there's things in our food that are banned in other countries. Mind you, it's convenient, it's easy, and it's marketed that way. Like, the marketing is wild. I can get into a whole thing. My point to you is, it's almost like you have to fight back with the way you eat. Like, it's so easy to just, well, I'm hungry now. There's that McDonald's, or there's that blah. There's that Burger King. And it's like you actively have to decide, like, no, I'm going to eat the right way. Now, my whole purpose of changing my diet and doing what I did was because I felt I understood that I have kids. This body is young. I need to keep it alive and well. And the sacrifice I pay for today will make up, instead of it being a hospital bill or a lost life or painful emotion later, right? So that's my attitude. And I think that's why it was actually so easy for me to transition over to do that, because the purpose was so huge. So that's one strong piece of advice. If you're struggling with your own mental health and you're struggling with your physical health and you're not happy, you have to find a purpose big enough that motivates you enough to make it worth your while. And you minimally will get through the beginning part of it, or you'll at least start, right? And you got to keep that purpose at the front of your mind. You have to keep it like locked on, right? That's a strong thing. I think that was my driving force. As I looked at my kids, I was like, I don't want to be this way. They're going to get older. They're going to get more into sports. I don't want to have a problem. I want to live long enough where we're not having issues. So that's what drove me. And I'm telling you that the quote side effects from eating, I said this carnivore diet, a strict carnivore diet, amazing. Like, I get excited thinking about it. Now, currently I'm not full blown on it. I'm gonna be honest. I'm really not. But I do kind of loosely stay to it. I'm now in a position where I can do it some more, and I will, because I think about it often. I'm like, man, how good I felt emotionally, positive. Things didn't get me down. And I'm like, wow. So I think a lot of people have this misunderstanding or misconception, or have been indoctrinated to think that like mental health is something else. Mental health is a culmination of a bunch of things. And to get the mystery out of it, one major thing is the way you treat yourself, what you eat, how you treat your body, right? If you eat right, if you give it the right things, and this carnivore is amazing. I'm really not trying to advocate. I'm trying to say it in a way where it doesn't seem like I'm advocating. And I guess that comes off weird. So I might as well just be honest with you. Let's just say it was amazing for me. And it was. I lost weight. I wasn't working out. My emotions increased for the better exponentially. The way I was towards people, my family, my friends, was just way more calm and genuine. I could sleep. I had the worst time. I would have the worst time falling asleep. Like, ask anyone who knows me. It's like, yeah, I'm up. And then I couldn't get 4 or 5 hours of sleep or less and operate a full day and do that days after days. It was the weirdest thing. I think it had a lot to do with like the blood sugar content. So doing all this stuff, I'm very sensitive to sugar, by the way, and caffeine. If I had caffeine right now and it's the afternoon, I'd be up till 5 a.m. I'm just one of those people. There's some people, I envy these people, man, that have coffee and they just go to bed. It's crazy. I don't have that ability. That's a superhuman ability. So as a result of doing this, I got my blood work done for diabetes at the doctor a few months back. And on paper, he's like, your diabetes is gone. Like, your A1C level is 5.5. Like, you are normal. Like, that is what an average person would have. Blew my mind. So not only did it handle like a chronic illness, as they called it today, it's a chronic illness that never goes away. I handled my own unhappiness. I had something to live for. Mind me, I'm sweating in here. Don't worry, right? It's hot in here. I turned the AC off for this. For you. For the sound. Okay? I had something to live for. And the driving force was good. Keep this body in shape and well long enough to have a good life with my kids. And that's really it. It's like that rode it all the way, 1.5 years of doing it. And then I kind of broke it really hard. I broke it really hard. I'm not too proud to tell you that I broke it bad. And I did that and I gained some weight and I was like, whatever. And I noticed, and this is why I'm making this video and talking to you about it. Because I didn't really, even when I was riding that wave and I was feeling good, I didn't know then what I know now. Now I went backwards and I went back to how it used to be. And I'm like, oh no. And that's when I could tell the difference. I was like, oh, this was how I felt. This was normal. This is terrible in comparison. This sucks. So that's why I'm talking to you. And if you're watching this and you're like struggling with your own stuff and you have depression, I'm telling you, one key factor is, what are you putting in your body? Is it processed? Does it have nutrients? Does it have anything that actually keeps you going? Not just sugar and carbohydrates alone and processed whatever. Does it have amino acids like a steak? Does it have it? If you're a vegetarian, God bless you. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not trying to argue with people here. I'm just talking from my own little soapbox and telling you what I did. I'm not here to change people's minds. I'm here to remind you that if you want to get something done and you want to push, you must have a purpose big enough, bigger than your problems. You must have a purpose and a reason and a why that is bigger than your fears, than what is stopping you. And that's what drove me. So I figured out a way on my own, nobody cheering me on. To say it was tough, it actually is harder now trying to get back on it, because I succeeded. I met some real goal that I didn't think I was going to meet. Which is interesting to say out loud to you, to be honest. But I will say, while I was doing it, it wasn't hard because the purpose and the goal, the purpose and the reason was much bigger than the problem. And when if you're lucky enough to conjure that up and realize and contact that thing that drives you long term into the future, then it's going to be a lot easier for you too. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be easier. It's still going to be hard, but it's going to be less of a gut punch. You're going to have a lot more persistence. So, I guess I could have gone into some extreme detail with some facts from some doctor, but just you and me, and we're just talking. So that's me. I hope that motivates you in some way. I don't know. Hope you see something because of it. Anyways, it's been real. It's been fun, but it wasn't real fun. Okay? No, that's such a corny joke. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see ya.